When things aren't adding up in your life, start subtracting. Good morning, competitors. Jake here, your Chief Encouragement Officer. We're finishing up a brand new week. We are finishing up Fueled. And today we're talking about addition by subtraction. For a lot of us high achievers, our default response to challenges, to things not working the way we want, to falling out of rhythm is to do more, right? More work, more commitments, more grinding, more go. But what if the key to getting more wasn't doing more, but doing less? As we kick off the show today, hey, if you like this type of content, if you love finishing the week fueled, whether it's the Friday podcast, what you see on social media or more, I want to encourage you to head to start.competeeveryday.com. You can click the link in the show notes. You can type it on your website browser. Heck, type it on your phone as well. Start.competeeveryday.com, and you're going to be able to join the Competitor Journal for free. It's our twice a week short motivating mindset email to help you start the week strong on Sunday and finish the week fueled on Thursdays. You'll get a quick story and something to think about, chew on, attack the day with each and every week, multiple weeks, because we want you to show up and compete. We don't want you to get caught in the trap of complacency. We don't want you to take your foot off the gas and be inconsistent in how you show up for yourself. We want you to compete all year long because I know you have big goals. I know you have things in your life you want to achieve. And the reality is you can't do what everyone else does and expect to achieve different than everyone else. And so if you want help setting an intention for the day, starting the day focused, getting through the end of the week strong when most people fade out, I want to encourage you to head to start.competeeveryday.com and join the Competitor Journal. Now let's talk about addition by subtraction. If we think about it in the purest physical sense, like your workout routine, you don't train 7 days a week at full intensity. You build in rest days. Why? Because you're breaking down your muscles when lifting weights and they need time to recover. You got to come back stronger. The same applies to our life and to our career. And a lot of times, if we're overwhelmed, if we're scattered, if we're spinning our wheels, we think we have to do more, right? We're just not doing the right thing, so we're going to stack more on our plate, right? We're going to record more podcasts. We're going to add more sales calls. We're going to fill our bookshelf with more books. We're going to do more. But what if subtracting was the right thing? What if there were a few key things that were worth reviewing to see where we need to make some cuts? The first subtraction we should consider is the energy drainers, or as John Gordon would call them, the energy vampires. Look at the people around you. Do they fuel you or do they drain you? Is it the people that you get excited to see, the ones that, man, when you finish dinner with them or a cup of coffee, you leave with a little pep in your step? You know, I got better by just spending time with them. Or are they that person that as soon as you see them walk in the room, you just feel the energy drain out of you? We know those people, right? Those people that are constantly complaining, constantly gossiping, constantly the victim. There's always something wrong and it's always someone else's fault. And every time we see them, man, we just leave exhausted. Because they're always making excuses. They're always talking negative. They're always talking about people. See, these are the things that we need to subtract. Because we're going to have a hard time growing if we're spending our time with those who aren't. For example, think you're training hard for your next event. Maybe it's a high rocks competition. Maybe it's a race, but man, the people you hang out with are always pushing you to go out Friday night. Man, come on, it's just a race. It's just a comp. Eat some pizza, drink some beer with us, right? Come on, it's no big deal. It's not that important. See, you've put in the hard work to sign up for the event, right? You've invested something. It's important to you, and yet your friends are not supporting you. They're talking down on it. They're diminishing it. And so what if cutting out those hangouts could actually be the difference between showing up strong or showing up sluggish? Second thing you should think about cutting out, and this one's a hard one for a lot of us, is unnecessary commitments. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. Some of us have a hard time saying the word no. We just say yes. We say yes to unnecessary meetings or coffees, yes to this project, yes to social obligations, things that we don't even want to go do, but we feel like we have to because we want to please people. And all we do is end up draining ourselves. All we end up doing is leaving worse off than when we came in. What if you're gunning for a promotion, right? You have your eyes set, you know there's an opening coming up. The person in this role is about to retire or they've taken another job. And so every time you say yes to an unnecessary meeting, every time you say yes to that extra happy hour with nothing to do with the coworker or the role, you're adding more things to your plate when you could be preparing for that interview, when you could be setting yourself up to capitalize on that promotion. See, sometimes you got to say no. And I know that's hard because we want people to like us. We want to do well. We don't want to say no. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. But sometimes boundaries are the best thing to help you get better. So learning to say no. And then finally, man, sometimes it's just subtracting noise. Subtracting the noise, man, we're always on. We're always on our phone. You might be listening on your phone right now, right? There's always a ding, a notification, a text message, an email. Some app is pinging you. ESPN sending you an alert about a trade or news or update. This app is sending you a notification because you haven't logged in a while and it misses you. If you're not careful, you're going to hear your phone go ding, 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 ding all day long, which means you're going to be distracted. Because there's nothing worse than being in a groove, working on a project, having a conversation, you hear a ding, and you either look at the ding, which takes your focus away from what you're working on, or you start thinking about it, right? You're having dinner with a friend, a relationship you care about, and you hear your phone ding. And you know it's nothing important, but you feel the pull. You just want to keep looking. You want to stop, but you don't want to pick it up in front of them and look at it in front of them because that would be rude. But all the while, you've stopped listening to them because you're just thinking about what's on your phone. So what if we just stop scrolling mindlessly? What if before you go into that work meeting, you don't just scroll your phone for Facebook or LinkedIn, or before you do that competition, or heck, before you go to bed? What if you start prioritizing and setting boundaries for when you use social media? What if you turn off your notifications and put it on Do Not Disturb during windows of the day? What if you silence some of the noise? You don't have to be at everyone's beck and call every second of the day. And most of the dings and the notifications on your phone are OPP, other people's priorities, not your own. See, subtraction isn't always about doing less. Oftentimes it's about doing better. The less we put into everything, the better and more effective we can put into the right things. I constantly chew on the Matthew McConaughey quote from his book, Green Lights. At one point in his career, he realized he was making B's in 5 areas. So he cut 2 of them because he said, I want to make A's in 3. For me, making A's in 3 areas of my life is more important than making B's in 5. And for some of us right now, we're making B's in 5, 6, 10, 15 different things. We're trying to do too much. When in reality, we need to step back and evaluate and say, what are the top 3? What are the most important things for me? And how can I start to subtract the rest out of my life? Cut the things that aren't serving you. Cut the relationships that aren't fueling you. Now, I'm not talking about relationships that only make you feel good, because you know you need those that hold you accountable, but accountability fuels you forward because it helps you meet a standard. So you have to evaluate, are the relationships I have serving me? Am I saying yes to everything, or can, for the love of God, I just say no? And finally, can I start to silence some of the notifications? Can I start to be more protective of my time to work on the things that matter? It's not always about doing more. Sometimes it's about subtracting the anchors that are holding you back. Go win your day today, competitor. You know I'm cheering for you.